My name is Hannah Castro.
My name is Lisa Smith. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Well, this is Lynchburg Counseling Center. And for the first session, I just wanted to go over what the services we offer are. So aside from our counseling services, we offer many support groups. We have couple support groups. We have family support groups as well. And one of the main things that we try and focus on is catering to our clients. So if you have a busy schedule, we do have someone who can meet with you off-site as well. So we have plenty of our clients who work 40 hours a week and aren't able to make it, so we can meet with you outside in your house as well, or wherever is easiest for you. But here I have the consent form, and this just goes over what the services we offer are, as well as confidentiality, just stating what is said in this room stays in this room. We want to respect what you have to say to us. But you may have heard this before, but if anything comes up with neglect of a child or an adult, or wanting to hurt yourself or someone else, then we would have to report that. So that wouldn't pertain to the confidentiality that's in the consent form. But we also wanted to let you know that you have the right to refuse any of the services, and we want you to approach it with kind of like a salad bar approach. So take what you want and don't take what you don't want. We just want to listen to what you have to say to us. But this is the form, so you can sign this whenever if you want to look over that after. But what brings you in today?
Well, I'm not very good at asking for help, but excuse me, I have my 17-year-old daughter. She has a 15-month-old, and she's trying to get through her senior year in high school, and we worked out some plan to make that happen, but she's not really holding up to her end of the bargain. I'm just finding out that she's skipping school, she's not doing her classwork, she's staying out late, she's out on weekends, and she just expects me to watch the baby. And, I had told her that I would, but it's just, I can't do it all the time, but obviously I can't neglect the baby. Nobody, I'm the responsible person, and, and so it's just hard to have to go through this situation. She's, there's this boyfriend, and, and I asked, that was part of the rules too, that he was not to stay over, but, he's there too, and he's obviously not being responsible for the child himself, and so ultimately I am the caregiver for this child. I have to work at least part-time. I've been divorced for several years, and, that created this scenario partly, with my daughter, and, so it's just all on me, and I don't really know what to do. I don't know how to get to her. She doesn't want to communicate. She just wants to do her thing. I understand she's a teenager, but she's got responsibilities now, and I'm just not exactly sure how to get to her, and how to get her to realize that she has to be responsible for her child, and and I want to work it out. I want to work this out together. I want the best for all of us, but it's just difficult.
Well, first I can say you made a great decision in coming here and asking for help. I know that's honestly one of the hardest first steps, is to ask for help, but it sounds like you have a lot on your plate, so I think that's a great decision that you made for yourself, and not just you, but also for your daughter and for her baby. It sounds like you really care about both of them and want to put their well-being first, but also it's important to look out for yourself as well. But does she offer to help with the child at all, or does she?
Well, in the beginning, she had to be, she had to learn how to feed them and take care of them, and and that, but very quickly, she does have to do her school, and but like I said, she's not doing it lately. She's, I found out from a teacher at the school called me the other day and said that she hasn't been attending class, and and it just, can't work. It's just kind of going downhill, and so I just need some help to help connect with her, and help to get her back on the right track, because we're starting to butt heads, and that's not good for our relationship, and that's not good for the baby's relationship
Certainly.
either.
I know, I'm sure you wouldn't want you arguing with your daughter in front of the baby. I know that that's probably not something that you want to, the environment that you'd want to raise the baby in. Are the teachers in communication with you at all about the progress of your daughter? I know you said recently you heard that she's been skipping school. Are they offering you any support as far as options that you could look at, as far as or just where she's at in school? Are they in communication with you at all, or is it not really?
Well, a little bit. They were very understanding in the beginning and were willing to help as well. But, and she does make good grades. She can make good grades. And so, she has the potential to see this through, but she needs support, and she's sort of rejecting that now. And I'm not even sure what kind of attitude she has towards her teachers, and everybody's trying to help her, and and she's just kind of pushing that away, and and she's acting like a child, which I understand she really is still a child, but but she also has one.
Yeah.
And and so she needs to look to take care of the child.
I'm sure that's hard for you, seeming like you're having to raise 2 children on your own, on top of having to work. That sounds really difficult. Is there anyone else that helps you with watching the child when you do have to work, or?
Sometimes my mom, she's getting older, but she doesn't work anymore, but she has other things that she does, outside the home as well, and so sometimes she'll help out, but she's not always available either.
Okay.
But I don't feel comfortable just like asking a neighbor, or I don't even feel comfortable asking the boyfriend's family, and it's not like they're even asking to, but so that even makes it even worse, or not, makes me not want to ask them either.
Yeah.
So so it's my daughter just doesn't understand the time that a child needs, and it's probably I'm sure there's some things there that I did wrong, and that she I didn't probably care for her when I was working, and I was going through a divorce, and so so then I feel guilty about that, so then it like makes me feel responsible for the baby too, and sorry, but anyway, so I just wanted the best for both of them.
No, it sounds like you do. I can really tell that you do, and that's a lot on you. I just want to first say, don't blame yourself, because blaming yourself can hinder you from providing that care for her, and I know that is what you want. You want to be an encouragement for her and help her to see that she has more responsibilities than just school, but also that was part of the agreement. But yeah, don't blame yourself. Well, I want to be able to help you get the services that you need, and just to find out what would be a realistic way to approach this situation and get her the help that she needs, but also you as well, and ultimately for the baby. Do you think that she'd be willing to come to we do have family support groups as well. Do you think that she'd be willing to meet with you or myself or someone else? Or
I think that she would, if I had a chance to talk to her and explain some of this to her, and I know she knows that people are trying to help her, and so I think she would.
Okay. Well, I think that would be a great step, just so that we could get more of an idea of where she's at as well, and maybe you yourself, if you're not able to talk to her a lot in the house, if she's gone a lot, these questions are hard to ask on your own. Just you and her, I can understand that. So if there's someone just to monitor the conversation or just facilitate that, maybe it would give you an idea to see maybe what's going on in her head, because I'm sure she's overwhelmed with school and like you said, being a kid herself and having to raise a kid, that's definitely new to her. So just to see where she's at and what would be the best way for her to contribute more to watching her child and also help you out because, well, like you said, ultimately you're raising the child right now. So we do have that, and I know you said that you work part-time right now, but we have those support groups every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we also do in-home support groups, or when I say support groups, it would be the family support group. So it would be either myself or another counselor here meeting with you and your daughter, and your granddaughter is more than welcome to come too. Yeah, honestly, I think that would be good if everyone would be there together, and if your daughter could see you say to her how much you've been struggling, but in a way that's, I guess, allowing her to see what you need from her in a positive way, then I think that that would also be good for her as well. Does that sound like something that would be good for you in your schedule?
Yeah, I can make time for that. Well, what if she's not willing, or, I mean, surely she could make some time, but what if she's not willing to come?
So, that's a great question, because I know that, like you said, she's not home a lot to ask these questions to. So if she's not willing, then honestly I would say continue meeting. This is our first session, but I would just continue meeting. And even when you do see her, just maybe asking questions, just seeing, I don't know, do you guys argue a lot, or is it more just?
Well, like I said, I try to avoid, sometimes you just avoid having a conversation so that it doesn't turn into an argument, but sometimes she's willing to listen, and other times she just gets very defensive, and she just wants nothing to do with anything. I try to explain to her, she thinks I'm treating her like a child, and so it's hit or miss as to whether or not I don't know if I'm getting through to her ever.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I can understand that would be the case with many teenagers, so don't think you're alone in trying to communicate with your teenager. Well, yeah, if she's not willing, then I would say continue coming yourself and reaching out to the other people that you do trust within your circle that can help you in any way as far as watching your granddaughter. And I would also say just reaching out to the school as well and seeing if there's any option as far as online school. I don't know what school she goes to, but or if there's online classes that she could take, making it more possible for her to be more involved, because if she's stressed with school, it could maybe be causing her to not want to be involved because she just has a lot on her plate. And if you don't mind me asking, did her skipping school, did that start around the time when you and your husband got divorced? I know you said you've been divorced several years, but has she always been a good student, or?
Well, yeah, she's always been a good student, and there was a few incidents back, when it was probably like coming out of elementary school into junior high, which is, I know, a hard age, but so there was a few incidents, but then it's been more recently, I guess, that she's because I feel like she did make an effort in the beginning. And so I don't know if it's this boy or, he's actually graduated already, so that is, he's obviously not there.
Yeah.
And he's not helping out in any way. So yeah, I feel like it's been more recent that she's just kind of making these poor choices. Because I feel like she did make an effort in the beginning.
That makes sense. And you said your granddaughter was 15 months old, so she's still really young too. And so that it could all just be one thing after the other. And if like you said, if he's graduated and he's wanting to pull her away from school too, and he's not involved in the child's life, then, or making any intention of being involved, then I can see how it would be easy for her to not even want to help out. And if she thinks that you're doing it all too, it's hard, because if she thinks you're doing it all, and she thinks that you have it, then she'll step back maybe and be completely fine with it, but it's not like you can, I guess, teach her a lesson and step back too, because this is your granddaughter.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I can completely understand how that would be hard. Well, what obstacles, I know that, again, this is our first session, so I'm just getting an idea of where you're at, but what obstacles do you think might get in the way as far as approaching the situation, or using the approach that we talked about, as far as asking her if she would be willing to do a family counseling session? And I know that you mentioned one of the obstacles of her being defensive and not wanting to do that, but as far as maybe conflicting time schedules, or her maybe not being available, would there be anything else? Or
Oh, what if she was prefer to do it by herself? Would that be okay too? Like, I would love for us to be able to do it together, but maybe in the beginning, maybe she would want to just come by herself. Is that possible too?
yes, that's absolutely possible. So we can, if you wanted to talk to her about that, and does she know that you're currently going to counseling?
Oh, I did mention it to her that I was gonna come to this first meeting.
Okay, well, I think it's great that you're letting her know where you're at, and that you're needing help and you're getting help, and you're setting an example for your daughter of when you need something, you go get it and you're achieving that. So I think it's important for anyone to set goals and to try and achieve those goals, and sometimes you need help in achieving them. So yeah, we can definitely do a counseling session with her as well, and just to see where she's at, if she'd be willing to do that. And same thing with her, if she wants to refuse the services and she says, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want your help, that's completely fine as well. But if after the first time she's able to, it's just a safe space for her to stay where she's at, and she wants to come back, then that would be great. And then in that session, maybe we could talk to her about possibly doing a family session, and then, because I know it's important for you to connect with your daughter, and so it's hard to do that separately, but sometimes we need help separately before we can connect. So yeah, I think that would be a great way for you to connect with her, is for her to be able to talk about where she's at, maybe why she's skipping school, maybe some of the difficulties that she's gone throughout the divorce. Are you still in contact with your ex-husband?
Well, just when I have to deal with her, you know, we relate to each other. Sometimes it's not easy, but yeah, well, like, and he comes around like for birthday parties or.
Okay.
But other than that, no, I try not to have much to do with them.
Okay. Well, I understand. I know everyone's situation is different, so I didn't want to assume. But I wasn't sure. Sometimes if he is in the picture and he could in any way be an encouragement in helping her contribute at all, and I don't know if he contributes, or again, like I said, I didn't want to assume anyone's situation, but
Maybe to the problem.
okay, well, like everyone's situation's different, so yeah, if he is contributing to the problem, then by all means we can leave him out of the picture.
Can I ask, is other classes that she can go to, like, that would help model, like, young moms, like, taking care of their children, that could give her an example? Because obviously she just sees me as the grandma, like I'm just doing it for her.
Certainly.
But is there something that she can come to that models that?
Yeah, so unfortunately, none of our services, I guess, are directed towards modeling that. However, there are many places within the area that do model that, or do have classes. I have a few on the top of my head, but before you leave, remind me and I can get you a list of them. And I don't know if that would be something that she'd want to do or not, but it'd certainly be a good idea. And she could even bring, and I don't know if you'd feel comfortable with this, but whatever allows her to receive help, maybe you would be interested. She can even bring her boyfriend, and they also have classes for him. They can do them together, or they can do them separately. She can bring her daughter, or she doesn't have to. They do have childcare. Some of them do, some of them don't. And a lot of these places do take many insurances, so that would be good as well. But I'll get you a list of those, and we can definitely look over them before you go. But I know we are coming to an end of this first session, but is there anything else that you need before our next session? What would you like to address in the next session? Is there anything that you would want to talk about?
Well, I guess I'd like to see some progress, and I'm hoping that, I'm not sure, should I just tell her about this, or should I give her your number, or do you guys would call her directly, or how would I present that to her?
So, because her daughter's not a current client of ours, it would be, I guess, inappropriate from us, because like I said, through confidentiality, we don't want to call her and, I guess, say all that you said, because what you said is important to us, so we don't want to share that. But I can give you a list, and it'll have all the numbers on it, and you can say, and since she knows that you went to this counseling session, you can even say, the lady gave me this list, this offers, there's many services for you and for me. This isn't something that you have to do, but if you want to, I think it would benefit you and your daughter, and just encouraging her in that way. But I'll definitely give you a list of those. But yeah, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to call her just because of confidentiality reasons. But
That makes sense.
yes, well, Lisa, I really do appreciate you sharing with me that today, and I'm glad I was able to get just an idea of where you're at and what's going on. It sounds like a lot, but I'm glad that you were able to make it here. Who's watching the baby right now? I'm glad you found
Bye, Mom.
Okay. Well, that's sweet of her, and sounds like she needs some help too. So maybe
Yeah.
this will end up helping her too. But I appreciate you coming.
Oh,
in.
thank you so much. It's been I appreciate you listening.
Absolutely.
It means a lot. Thank you.
Certainly. Well, it's been a privilege speaking with you, and I look forward to the next session. All right.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.